I'll not use any skills, any trainer skills. We'll just shoot the Colossus with the gun. Wait for him to finish his scan as usual. Let him punch his right arm. And then when he presents the weak point, we shoot at this. Just keep shooting the weak point. We may have to reload again. And there we go. I can't believe we can kill Gluttony now just using the Python SMG. Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to another first Descendant video. So today I have a build guide for the Python SMG. I realized I never made a Python build guide previously, but I did have a fully built gun and wanted to make a build for that one because we got the multi-hit cores recently. And if you saw my previous two videos on the Fallen Hope, we came to the conclusion that unless the gun has a red core and some decent multi-hit damage, base damage, it's not worth it to invest into a multi-hit core in the free slot. So with this gun, I've put Toxic, and to show you the difference, I've also made a similar gun, second gun, with almost identical rolls, and have put multi-hit damage instead of Toxic. So this one has Toxic, this one has multi-hit. The other things are about the same when it comes to damage. In the cores, I have weak point, firearm, multi-hit, Toxic. On this one, I have weak point, firearm, multi-hit, damage, Toxic. So slightly different numbers, but the same rolls and very similar numbers overall. In terms of damage, this gun with the Toxic, 41,900 firearm attack, 66,000 Toxic, fire rate 1232, 75 bullets. This one has 30% multi-hit chance and 8.53 multi-hit damage, 3 times weak point. Over here we have 41,939, slightly higher firearm, 30,000 Toxic. That one had 66, so that is the big difference. Same fire rate, 74 bullets. That one had 75, minor difference there. 30% multi-hit chance, 30% on the other one. A lot more multi-hit damage, 1.155, and almost exactly the same weak point. The mods are also going to be the same. We are going to use multi-hit induction, and we'll be aiming for the weak points so that when we get 10 stacks, we will get another 57% multi-hit chance. So we have 30 by default, another 57, and we will have 87% multi-hit chance. All right, to test this, we will get an upgrade. We are going to get a Colossus in here, and we'll get Gluttony simply because these guys have a nice big weak point, so I can show you the difference in terms of damage. It'll be much more easier and consistent to hit the weak points so that there'll be less variation, because if you get level 260 Vulgus or something, their head tends to sway around too much and I can't show you the exact numbers, or if they're not as consistent. All right, so first up, this is the gun with the toxin attack in the free. Okay, 178% toxin attack. Everything else is more or less the same. 30% hit chance, multi-hit induction, so this will go up to 87%. Okay. So I'll do this 2-3 times and then we'll compare what damage we are getting with both the guns. So with this one, first attempt, 21.5 million. Okay, let's reset and go again. 21.6 million. So again, very close, very consistent. And one more time. 20.1. So a little less, but again, 21 million is the number we are getting. Now let's switch over to the gun that has multi-hit damage. Now remember, with the weak point hits, we will get the multi-hit chance up to 87%. So this gun is not lacking in multi-hit chance, and the unique ability of the Python also works nicely with the weak point. So once again, we'll do it this 3 times, empty the whole magazine. This one does have one less bullet in the magazine, but it shouldn't make too much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. This one does have a lot more multi-hit damage. So first attempt, 74 bullets, 15.4. So even let's say one bullet is doing a lot of damage. Even if we were to be generous and give it, let's say, a 2.5 million based on the average DPS, which is probably more than what it does, we are still looking at around 17, 18. Okay, let's do this again. Uh, 14.7. And one more time, 15.3. With that one, we were getting 21, 21, and 20. This time we're getting 14, 15, and 15, something like that. So as you can see clearly, the multi-hit damage core is doing less damage. Okay, so hopefully that clears that up, and I did not waste the second gun for nothing. So I'll do something with the second gun. I'll maybe make this for glare or something. But yeah, at this point, multi-hit damage in the core is not worth it. Stick to putting multi-hit in the mods itself. So let's go over the gun now, like a normal video. So we'll be focusing on this gun. Let's put this one aside. We don't need that. Okay, so with this gun, let's look at the options and the cores first, just to recap. Firearm attack, multi-hit damage, weak point damage, and toxic. Okay, I think this is a good setup here. You may want to put multi-hit chance instead of weak point perhaps, because the gun does have decent weak point, and the unique ability also works with the weak point. That is why I put the weak point. Plus I've also taken steps to reduce the recoil and the accuracy so that it's easier to hit the weak points. I'll show you that as well, the recoil differences. Then we go into the cores, and we have the toxic attack in the free core. Firearm attack is 80%. Rounds per magazine is 150% in the green core. You can put a fire rate core instead, but this gun doesn't have a lot of ammo. By default, it has 30 bullets. So unless you're using it with glare, I would say go with the ammo. It'll also save you extra mod space where you can put other useful things. And 75 bullets on an SMG is fantastic. It already has a decent fire rate. So yeah, like I said, I don't really see much point of going higher in terms of fire rate and then sacrificing the rounds per magazine, because you'll shoot faster, empty the gun faster. You'll probably spend more time reloading when you have only 30 bullets. And if you put more mods for extra ammo, you'll be losing a few other mods that could do more damage. So anyway, that is my preference for most Descendants besides glare. For glare, put fire rate. And then I've put recoil and aim shot accuracy because I want the gun to handle as smoothly as possible, and also it will make hitting the weak points easier. So let me just bring that other gun back into the picture to show you the difference between recoil. So this one doesn't have any recoil. I've put sprint here, and if you see over here, let's stand here, and this is the gun which had the multi-hit damage, and this one doesn't have any recoil reduction. So I'll aim over here, I'll shoot the gun, let it empty the bullet, empty the magazine, and you can see the recoil pattern. So I'll try and not hold the mouse or do anything to counter the recoil. Just watch the normal recoil. You can see it goes sort of left and right out here. Okay, quite significant in my opinion, zigzagging to the left and right. Okay. Now let's show you the gun which has the recoil cores on it. So stand in the same spot, aim for the same spot. You can see how smaller the crosshair is, and look at this, barely any recoil. I've reduced it to like minimum. There's still a tiny bit there, but you won't really feel it. It'll be much easier to hit the weak points, much smoother, and you'll actually enjoy shooting with this gun. It has a good fire rate, it has a decent amount of ammo in the magazine, and barely any recoil, 100% accuracy as well. So if you see over here, aim shot accuracy is 100%, and for the recoil, it says here minimum at 0.9 times. So I guess it's minimum, although it says 0.72 in the sheet over there. So I don't know which one we should consider. So yeah, it is as minimum as we can get, unless you want to try another mod and see if you can just make it completely still in one spot. But yeah, this is good enough. And now let's look at the build itself. So build is mostly straightforward. So we have rifling reinforcement, action and reaction. These add the firearm attack. This adds more firearm attack at the expense of critical hit damage, charge amplification. Now remember, action and reaction increases the recoil. So we are using that to counter that, the recoil core. And then we have fire rate. We have toxic enhancement. We have poison priority for another toxic. And then we have the multi-hit stuff. So multi-piercing sights, this adds 70% multi-hit damage, again at the expense of critical hit damage, which we are not building into anyway. Multi-percussion gives us that 30% that we have initially. And then we have the multi-hit induction. So as I mentioned earlier, you get 5.7% per stack of multi-hit chance when you hit a weak point. And if you land 10 in a row, you will get 57%. So if you look over here, we have 30% multi-hit chance. Let's get the Colossus back in. and we will see how the 10 stacks look. Okay. So aim for this here, and let's look at this 87% multi-hit chance. Okay, so you have good multi-hit chance, you have good weak point, you have good toxic damage, and the gun handles very well, does a lot of weak point damage, as I said. And so I think this is the most comfortable and fun way to build this gun, and you can enjoy this. So you can use it with any Descendant, to be honest. Someone like Bunny would be good with this one. So you have Bunny doing electric damage, and then the gun doing toxic damage, so that in the future, in season 3, when we have the new enemy legion, I can't remember what they were called, but they were doing multiple types of damages. So you could use something like this gun to make it work. With Freyna, I would still hold the Secret Garden in hand, because that gun has the sprint course, and then when we get to enemies, we swap over to this and we melt them. And just to show you some gameplay, instead of running Sigma Sector or something again, I'll just show you this fight against the Colossus Gluttony, and using only the gun, just to show you how strong this gun is now. Okay, by the way, they have also changed the Colossus system. So we spawn a little closer to the Colossus. We have 10-second duration before the Colossus drops. So I think this is better. So I'll not use any skills, any Freyna skills. We'll just shoot the Colossus with the gun. Wait for him to finish his scan as usual. Let him punch his right arm. And then when he presents the weak point, we shoot at this. Just keep shooting the weak point. We may have to reload again. And there we go. I can't believe we can kill Gluttony now just using the Python SMG. Before we got cores and stuff, we had to use Enzo and then use his ability to increase the crit rate and use the enduring legacy and all of that. And we don't even have the right element. This guy is weak to fire, and we are using a Python with the toxic element. Now, by the way, the Colossus, such as Swarmwalker, they may not go down in basically they'll get enraged, so you can still kill them with the Python, but you may have to hit the weak points once or twice and then aim for the weak points, because that guy is a toxic type, so he won't take as much damage as these guys. But yeah, as you can see here, an SMG can take out the hardest boss. Now, to be honest, Gluttony has been nerfed a lot recently, but you can see with good weak point and a decent fire rate, multi-hit, and all of that, we can take out even Gluttony with just the gun. In fact, I did not use anything from Freyna's abilities. This gun isn't even mounted on the reactor. So that is the Python build. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.